How to market your window cleaning business now in 2026. I'm going to spend a few minutes here breaking down some very simple strategies to put more jobs on your schedule for your cleaning business. And how I know these work is I did these in my very own cleaning company for the past 8 years. And I've also helped now over 600 exterior cleaning business owners put simple marketing systems into their business to move their business from being owner operator and having to do everything to actually being what I call more of an enterprising entrepreneur, someone who can build something that can truly run without them. And so let's just dive in. I'm going to give you the first strategy right here, and that's going to be re-engaging your past customers. One trend I've seen with working with over 600 companies is we'll have a company come to us and we'll start deep diving their marketing that they're currently doing. More often than not, they're neglecting their past client base, right? For a window cleaning company, you should not just be doing one-time cleans, right? You should be offering service subscription plans for every single customer today. And you should be literally like printing money, setting up clients on a schedule. You should just not be doing one-off cleans, okay? I want you thinking about your window cleaning business. How do you not make this a transaction? And how do you actually make this a relationship? Okay. I was able to get really good at this with my own cleaning business where we did over 5,500 cleaning jobs locally here where I'm based in Canada. And we kept a 4.9 rating on Google, right? We were able to do that because we were so good at getting our past clients back onto the schedule. I'm not saying you hammer them with a text message every single week with a new offer, this or that. I can put up on the screen here what worked really well for us was a really simple $50 off coupon, right? And we would pass that out at trade shows. We would pass that out when our jobs were finished. And even in follow-up email campaigns, we would let customers know, hey, here's a $50 coupon or a voucher for any future services. It kind of plants the seed for that customer that, oh, these guys also do roof cleaning or pressure washing, right? Or I can get back on the schedule for window cleaning, right? And if you're running service plans now, you want to give customers preferred pricing, right? If they're doing 2 cleans with you a year, they're even doing quarterly, would be ideal. Those are the best clients, right? That you get to go out 4 times a year to clean. One other note I want to say is you want to get set up on a simple software, right? I built my whole company on Jobber for 8 years. Like I said, over 5,500 projects, over 11,000 leads. We hired over 54 team members and I built it all on Jobber. And one thing I really liked about Jobber was they rolled out what's called campaigns, okay? And I've done some training on this. How did we actually set up a really simple email campaign? I'm just telling you because, I spend a lot of time and hundreds of dollars every single month on another software that was just more complicated and made, email marketing more complicated than it needed to be. So I'm here to tell you, email marketing still works very well and it works really well so long as you do a really good service for your customers. And if you can set up on Jobber campaigns, you could literally set up your email campaign in like less than 15 minutes. And what I really liked was our deliverability of our emails was excellent using Jobber campaigns, good click-through rates, and like everyone replying, they're literally opting in with a lead request form on your Jobber. So it just like makes it super easy. And a cool note I'll just share with you is before I exited my business last year, I set up one last email campaign, right? The new owner was able to send it out with our management team. The team was able at Revive was able to put $89,000 of work onto the schedule. And that's just the power of doing email marketing, right? It doesn't need to be desperate, 50% off, this or that. A really simple flow of an email campaign that we would do. Friendly greeting, list your services, maybe give a really nice offer, just mention there's some great promotions on right now, and then a really simple call to action to reach out to the team in the office and make it a personal email to you, right? Either from the owner or in our case, we had it come from our service manager, Katrina. So that's the first thing you want to get set up. I personally think Jobber is the greatest to set up on because it's simple and you want to get going on those campaigns and re-engage those past clients, because I'll leave you with one last stat. You may already know this if you follow some of my trainings. It costs 5x, 5 times more to go out and get a new customer and get a new customer than it does to just retain an existing customer. And last little thing for you, like if you're like, what do I do today to like grow my window cleaning business? Literally grab the phone and call or text a past client. Let's say they like, think of last season, a great client you had, they tipped, they paid on time, they were great. They made the crew cookies, they did a Starbucks run, dropped you some coffees. Like that client, text that person and say, hey, Betty, was just thinking about, you had us out last year to clean windows. I don't have anything to ask for. I just want to say thank you. It keeps my business running, having great clients like you. And I hope you're doing well. I just want to say thank you. Regards, Barry, Magic Window Cleaning, done. You start getting in a rhythm like that and you start saying thank you without asking for something. That's how you get really good on your email too. So you're not always like, this is the Gary Vaynerchuk principle. You're not always right hooking them, right? You're giving a jab, giving some value, giving some value, giving some value. And then you have the right to ask in return. Okay, so that's the first one. Retarget your past clients. Doesn't cost much money. Number 2 is going to be create a frictionless experience, okay? And I'll just share with you, I've been doing some stuff around my house here. I've been hiring some different companies coming in, this and that. The people that just respond and get back to me is like a breath of fresh air. And I'll text out 2 or 3 companies for a project just because I want to get a response, because I know that someone's not going to get back to me because they're busy. So you want to have front to back, A to Z, I call it white glove service or a frictionless experience, so that when I reach out as a customer to get my windows clean, I'm getting a response, whether that's an email, whether that's text, phone call, doesn't really matter. I personally like text message, but even if it was email, if that owner is responsive, like we had our barbecue clean from a company actually read my book, which was cool. And they came out, they talked to my wife through email, boom, 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 the price set up, booked the date. It was an easy, frictionless experience, right? Now that company wasn't yet set up on, I was telling them about Jobber and hey, we should get set up. So we're still talking to that company. But my point is you want to make it simple for the customer, whether text or email, doesn't really matter. You want to make it really easy to pay as well. And again, I'm going to mention Jobber because I feel like for our customers, I heard time and time again, one first question was, are you guys a franchise? No, we're not. Why did you ask? Well, it seems really professional. Your brand looks really nice, right? The quote templates were set up really nicely. Nice logo, nice colors, really easy to pay. We would even send out on Jobber a kind of a get ready. We called it get ready for Revive. And that was like, please remove your window screens. Please don't park on your driveway. Please pick up any dog poo in the backyard. And then upon completion, our lead tech will do a walk around with you, ensure everything's looking good. So long as that's the case, payment is due upon completion. So we're setting the ball up on the tee before our crew goes in. Everything's dialed in, right? And contrast this to how most companies do it. They go in and clean the windows and then they're like awkwardly asking for money. The customer's like, oh, you want me to pay right now? Well, yeah, okay. Like you want to set it up so that the customer's getting notified, the crew's on their way, they're coming out, it's done, time to pay. You're going to get a simple text message to leave us a review. Would mean the world if you could mention our name, even mention the service that you got done, or attach a picture, right? Asking the customer for those things and kind of guiding them through this whole customer experience is really smart. And so if you're a CEO of your company right now, you want to think as a customer, what is that path that person's going to take? You don't want to have them sign up for a Mickey Mouse show, because most customers are like me. They're reaching out. They just want their thing done for a reasonable price. And like you're literally playing a video game on easy right now, whatever market you're in for window cleaning, because in your local market, there's very few responsive companies that actually get back to customers and give them a fair price and give them a great experience. And that's for you to solve as a business owner, right? I always called it, I'm basically marrying a professional match from my crew, marrying them up to a client to do the project. And I viewed each crew that I had in my window cleaning business as almost this independent mini business, that it was on me to design the rules of the game to make sure my crews could get a really good outcome for the customer. It's a whole different way of thinking about a business versus like, oh, Dave's just gonna go out and book in a schedule and I'm gonna do $1,000 a day. Nothing necessarily wrong with that business model. It just comes down to what you want, right? If you want to be busy and book yourself out, that's fine. But you're gonna struggle having that time freedom, which is something that I'm so passionate about and that I talk about in my book quite a bit. The third and final way is going to be building up your brand reputation, okay? Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and do a full rebrand of your company, but if you do, I'll give you the red hot tip. A lot of our members have worked with Sergio and his company at Bananas Creative. You can go check them out. They do a great job for branding companies. But if you're not ready to take that step, I want you thinking about how can you set your brand up with a really good reputation? How can you actually really look professional? I'll give you a few simple ways, okay? One's gonna be what I mentioned is those Google reviews. I know it's 2026. I know people are searching on ChatGPT and Grok and different search engines, but Google is still crushing it, right? Especially if you've got pricing on your website. Really important in 2026. You want to basically tell Google that, hey, as people search how much to clean my windows for a 2,500 square foot home, that your company is popping up. How you get that, it's a number of factors, but one key one still today is getting those Google reviews. And so if you have 500 Google reviews versus the company that has 19, and you're replying to them right away, and they're generally, majority are positive reviews, you're going to more often get recommended. And so that's still extremely important. I call it digital real estate for a service business. So that's when you want to have a simple system set up. And again, like we use Jobber to do our follow-up for reviews, and it works amazing, right? You do need to pair up that automation with a really good human experience. And I always wanted one technician on my team that was really friendly with customers, that could represent the core values of my business and really show the customer that, hey, we're here to serve. We want to make sure you're happy. So long as that's the case, then we can go and ask for that precious Google review. And we'd always say, you're going to get a link texted to you in the next 5 minutes as I close the job. If you don't mind mentioning my name and the service that we did, would just hugely help us. And we went even a step further. We would pay our technicians extra when their name got mentioned in a Google review. We'd pay for the review, but if their name was mentioned, we would pay additional commission for that as well. They're just that important in running my service business. Now, the second part of brand reputation, because a lot goes into it, is going to be all around referrals, okay? And now getting referrals, they can be done. A customer could tell a neighbor, they could text a friend, they could even shout you out in a local Facebook neighborhood group. We're still seeing this in 2026. This is like an OG strategy from, 8-10 years ago. It's still working today because we are social creatures that go on to Facebook, and we're cruising in these groups that we're in. And when people see, Ninja window cleaning get recommended 4 or 5 or 6 times in a thread with 15 comments, that person is going to be reaching out. And here's the biggest thing with marketing. I just want to let you know. I think most cleaning business owners think if I put out 1,000 flyers or make a post on Facebook, I will get a lead. Now, you could get a lead, but marketing only works when the prospect, me, has been touched by your brand 5, 6, 7 times, that then I'm taking action. So even if you get shouted out in a Facebook group and you only get 1 lead, I'm telling you, hundreds and hundreds of other people are getting their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th touch point on your brand. It's kind of like popcorn, right? Until it kind of heats up and pops, that's when you get the lead. So I'm telling you, as a marketer, think long-term about brand build, because for me, it took 3 years really for my cleaning business to cross $500,000 in revenue. And I truly believe I was marketing hard from day one, but it just took time for the brand to really catch up, because it's a long-term play building a service business. That's what I want to mention with reputation. So of course, you got to wrap your truck. You got to have a great website. You want to be getting reviews and referrals, really important. You want to offer a really frictionless experience for your customer, and you want to be re-engaging your past clients. And I can tell you, if you follow this long and you build on a platform like Jobber, and you get your cleaning business set up properly, and then you run it for 60, 72, 90, 100, 120 months, and you set the thing up, you're going to be able to look back and be like, my goodness, I've built an amazing asset here, that you might just be like me. You're gonna have someone knocking on the door saying, I'm interested in buying this business. And then that becomes really fun. You could keep it, have a manager in place like I did for 4 years, or you could exit your business and go do your next thing. I'm not here to tell you which way is right. You can sort that out for yourself. But I want to empower entrepreneurs, cleaning entrepreneurs, with something called optionality, which give you the option to get freedom from your business and put some great people in place and eventually free yourself up so you have something that someone may want to purchase from you someday. So don't go ripping paid ads, spending all this money. You don't have to go and do these expensive trade shows and elaborate booths. I'm not telling you you have to go door knock on tens of thousands of doors. All those things can work. I've just generally found from my business and the 600 cleaning businesses I've worked with is there's such beauty in keeping things simple and getting your business up to $500,000 with these simple strategies. Once you get that, then you can start becoming more of an evolved marketer. But there's no point spending with money that you don't necessarily have, because here's the thing, when you do graduate and get ready for paid ads, if your organic base and client base is already set up and your systems are good and you got set up on Jobber, you're going to have a much brighter future turning on those paid ads. You're going to get more orange juice when you go to squeeze that orange. So I want to thank you for watching. I'll link up a few resources for you down below. You can go check out. I appreciate you watching, and go ahead and put down below your biggest takeaway from this training as well, because I hope you pulled out a gold nugget from it. So I wish you well, and we'll catch you on the next episode.